Teenage Misery, where I explain complicated comics, characters and concepts to the patient and professional practice on the heart. My name is Ken Shiak, and this is the first of the video episodes of Journey to Misery.
It's kind of scary.
It's kind of scary getting our lovely mugs, my lovely mug, your lovely mug, out there on the internet.
I don't think people want to see my face.
Do you think after this, all the comments would be like, go back to audio?
Yeah, like you have a face for radio, or whatever people say.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the moopies.
Yeah.
Can you explain what a moppy is to the viewers? What do you remember a moppy to be?
Like stories that people have just gone nope.
Yeah.
And just decided didn't happen, really.
It's my term for a story that fans reject.
Yeah.
The fans go, no, that didn't happen immediately. We just don't count that, we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's named after a 60s Flash comic featuring a character called Moppy.
Okay.
We definitely talked about this.
Oh, that, yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that tragic piece of shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a piece of shit. It was like the 60s. Like, they didn't know what they were doing half the time.
What is it?
They were just like throwing stuff at a wall. It's fine. It was still like Robert Kanigher. The guy's still a legend.
Okay.
Or was it Bob Haney? It makes more sense to be Haney, but it could be Kanigher. I don't have those facts in front of me right now. What I do have is these facts. I'm a bit worried I'm going to be looking at the iPad too much. So I'm apologising for that in advance. This is the pilot episode of this. We don't really know how it works.
Yeah, we don't really know how to, like, video things. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be, like, looking into the camera or, like, looking at you. Like, I usually just sort of sit there and stare blankly or look at you. So
I kind of want to replicate the Journey to Misery experience as much as possible.
Well, none of that is this.
Whilst looking at the iPad and making sure that it's charging because the wires broke.
It's usually you have your laptop and I'm like...
Usually your legs curled up.
Yeah, I'm usually like curled up on the couch in my pyjamas because it's like 10 PM plus.
Well, it's 10 PM plus now.
Yeah, but...
Okay, we should probably skip all this and start.
This is a neatened version.
Okay, so I put on Twitter a vote. I said, okay, we're going to do the video tomorrow. Do you want us to do the X-Men storyline, the Draco,
okay,
or the Spider-Man storyline, Sins Past? Overwhelmingly, people chose the Draco.
Okay, so this is an X-Men.
Yeah, this is X-Men, which we've not tackled on the podcast.
Because there's already a very good podcast doing that.
Yeah, we are going to get to the X-Men one day, but that's for another day in that podcast. This is specifically one specific storyline, picking it apart over 10-15 minutes, don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah. And
analysing why it's so bad, why people forget about it, why people choose to forget about it.
Right.
So the Draco is by Chuck Austen.
Okay.
He's a writer who wrote a very, very hated run on the X-Men.
Why?
Just a lot of poor character work, poor character decisions, poor plot developments.
Okay.
There's a very good chance we could do another episode on...
Just on how tragic his run was.
Well, specifically, there's a storyline called She Lies with Angels.
That sounds terrible.
Which follows... It's the next storyline after the Draco.
Oh, right. So it was just one catastrophe after another.
So it's by Chuck Austen, with art by Philip Tan for the most part.
Is he good?
No.
Oh, okay.
But there is a prelude issue by Sean Phillips, who is very good. And the final issue is by Takeshi Miyazawa, who is very good.
Okay, but...
For the most part, it's Philip Tan, and Philip Tan isn't very good. Occasionally, like when I was reading it, there'd be like one panel that he's put a lot of detail in, and it looks great.
And then the rest is just like a gorilla has drawn it.
Yeah. So, I read the Draco today, and...
It was terrible.
Yeah, it's primarily a Nightcrawler Mystique story.
Okay.
What do you know about Nightcrawler Mystique?
Mystique's blue.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
That's all I know. Don't know anything about Nightcrawler?
I know, like, what I've seen from the films.
Yeah.
Which I can't really remember that well.
Okay, Mystique, what's her powers?
She's blue. She can change, like, skin?
Yeah, she's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
And Nightcrawler
I can't remember.
is a teleporter.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's also blue. He's like a blue demon. Like, he's furry. He's got like the big tail.
That guy.
Alan Cumming in the film.
Yeah, I like him. He's
Yeah. Okay, so I read the Draco, and I realised that some of the elements that people were tweeting me saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get to this bit," aren't in the Draco itself. People have kind of lumped in some of the worst parts of Chuck Austin's run into the Draco.
Okay.
So
you can cover them anyway.
Yeah, there's a 2-part story that takes place like 10 issues prior to the Draco called Holy War.
Right.
Which is by Chuck Austin and Ron Garney. So I'm going to cover that first because I feel like we'll do the Draco and everyone will be wondering what happened to the exploding communion wafers.
Exploding wafers?
Yeah.
Wafers?
Yeah.
Like food?
Like communion wafers.
What's that?
You don't know what communion wafer is?
No.
You know, in like Catholicism, where they give you like a bit of bread?
Yeah.
That.
So the bread exploded?
Kind of. I'm gonna get to
Okay.
it. It was a tease. It was a tease for what's to come.
I'm just very confused about wafers.
Do you not know what communion wafer is?
I didn't know it had that name.
Yeah.
I thought it was just bread.
No, there's like a little disc. It's like paper. Like it feels like when you put it on your mouth, it feels like paper.
Oh, I didn't ever go to a Catholic church.
And it just like dissolves on your tongue.
That sounds shifty.
Well, it's fine.
Interesting.
Usually. Unfortunately, for Holy War, I do have to put a trigger warning in
Oh god.
for a brief mention of rape
Fuck's sake.
towards the end of the
Every
storyline.
time.
It's mentioned once very quickly, but if you don't want to hear that, I don't want anything to do with that, feel free to turn off or skip ahead till the Draco.
You can do that thing like on YouTube where you like set markers
Okay.
because you can like click. It'll be like 1:15 to 1:20,
Okay. Yeah, I'll try and do that.
and then you can like just click the second marker, and then
Yeah, if you see markers, there are
all
markers.
of that shit will be gone.
Okay, so prelude to Holy War.
Mhm.
This is what was going on in the X-Men books before Holy War. Nightcrawler stepped down as X-Men team leader and accompanied Havoc and Polaris on a mission to the Bermuda Triangle, where they came across the Church of Humanity.
Right.
And it resulted in Havoc's college professor dying. Church of Humanity, they love God, hate mutants.
Right.
They're like pro-humans.
Right.
Like
Okay.
mutants are like an abomination in the eyes of God, or whatever.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because the Holy War starts, provocatively, with the X-Men discovering several mutants crucified on their lawn,
Okay.
including Jubilee.
Oh.
Nightcrawler reacts to this by looking to the heavens and just shouting at God.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Right.
The mutants are rushed to the medical lab, where they're hooked up to Angel, the mutant Angel,
Yes.
because he's just discovered he has like healing blood.
Because he's an angel.
It's like this was during a time when mutants were getting like secondary mutations.
Oh right. Okay.
So Beast went from being like a furry ape-looking dude to a furry cat-looking dude. Iceman started turning into like actual ice.
X-Men's weird.
X-Men's are very weird.
I like X-Men. It's weird.
So Angel's secondary mutation was that he had healing blood. Cyclops calls in his team and Nightcrawler tells them that it was probably the Church of Humanity.
Right.
Because it... Jesus and shit.
Yeah.
Cyclops asks Nightcrawler, well, you've had run-ins before with them and they've always like let you be. What changed? And he said, oh, well, the only thing I can think of that's changed is I renounced my priesthood.
Oh, okay.
And the rest of the X-Men are like, you were a priest?
You're like, you what?
And he's like, yeah, recently I was made a priest and you were all there.
And they didn't remember that.
Well, no, he's misremembering.
Oh.
It's the other way around. So the X-Men are shocked to hear he's a priest and Nightcrawler insists that they were at the ceremony. They go to the church where he was ordained and find it long since abandoned.
So he was never ordained.
They find traces of blood on the floor, so they rip up the floor to find a mutant testing lab underneath.
Oh wow, that's fucked up.
Kurt finds Father Whitney, like his priest who helped him study for being ordained. So being a priest.
Priesthood.
Yeah. And as Father Whitney dies, he reveals that the church's plans was for Nightcrawler to one day become Pope.
What the fuck is this story?
The X-Men fly out to Montana, where the church are based, to confront them, and they engage them as on their own turf and get into a fight as the leader of the church makes their preparations. Nightcrawler teleports a small team inside and finds a prisoner who knows what the church's plan is. They were going to put Kurt as the Pope, disguised as a human, only for it to be revealed that he's all demon-looking. This will make people think the rapture's upon them, and that
Scary.
yeah, and that Nightcrawler's the Antichrist, and that mutants were the catalyst for the Antichrist.
Okay, right.
To reinforce the idea of the end of the world and the rapture, they'd rigged all the communion wafers in the world
Okay.
to make people disintegrate.
So fucking dumb.
So if you're Jesus-y, is that offensive?
Who did you say? If you're of the Christian faith.
Yeah. So I feel like I can be a bit too dismissive without realising that I apologise for that.
It's because you used to be.
Yeah. If you're Catholic, specifically Catholic.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, because it's not everyone does the communion.
Yeah.
So if you're Catholic, and I could get an email that's telling me I'm wrong, but I was raised Catholic and we had it. If you had one of these communion wafers, you would be disintegrated, like at some point in the future.
Right.
But it would look like you just got raptured.
Okay, right. Wait, is this like communion as in like church, or communion as in like a christening?
Christening and communion is different.
What's the one where it's...
Confirmation.
That's it. There we go.
Yeah. Confirmation is different as well. Confirmation is where, when you get baptised,
Yeah.
that's your parents saying...
God is accepting you. We're giving you to God.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
yeah, and confirmation is...
Is you saying it.
Yeah.
It's like when you're older.
Yeah.
You have like a nice suit or a nice dress.
Yeah.
It's like a huge event.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
I lived it.
I always find it really strange because like all my Catholic friends, like at their house, they all have like huge families,
Mm-hmm.
and then in their houses there's like a picture, like the same picture,
Mm-hmm.
over and over again, but like with a different member of the family as like the centre. It's like so weird, and I'm like, I was christened, and my mum was just like, I don't know why.
So the church attacks, led by their leader, who we discover is a woman. A woman leading the church.
Shit's kicking off.
She initiates the self-destruct and dies as the church explodes. And it just feels like Chuck Austin was like, well, I made my points about religion. Time to end the story.
Yeah, done. Bye.
And like literally on the last page of the comic, Nightcrawler goes, oh yeah, we looked into it and she was a Catholic nun who was raped. And she was kicked out of the church, so she set up her own church.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like really rushed at the end of it.
It's just like, you know when you're in an exam,
Yeah.
and like, it's like writing a short story or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're like, you've got 5 minutes, and you're like, and then he died, the end. That's basically what he's done. He was just like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones now. I go, fuck.
Well, to be fair, Game of Thrones would have a lot of...
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the Draco.
Okay.
Here we go.
Is this worse?
I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as people... It's just really forgettable.
Okay.
I don't...
So it's not so much this didn't happen or as did this happen?
To be honest, I think we should have gone with Sins Past, maybe. We'll do Sins Past next. Sins Past is more damaging to the franchise.
Okay.
But
This is just shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is just pointless.
It's bad. And I will say, there are 2 B-plots in this.
Right.
One of them is about the Juggernaut going to see, like, this kid.
The Juggernaut, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the other is about Polaris and this nurse that's dating Polaris. Havoc and Polaris broke up, and now this nurse is dating Havoc, and there's some stuff with Professor Xavier there. Those don't really matter to all, like when people think of the Draco, they think of this Nightcrawler story.
Right.
So we're only really talking about the Nightcrawler stuff.
Okay.
So we start 20 years ago in Germany.
Set in the sea.
Yeah. And Mystique
Yeah.
is currently the Baroness Raven. I know her name. Her name's Raven. Her name's Raven Darkholme. I don't know why I said Raven.
Raven! What's wrong with you?
One take. This is one take. She's currently the Baroness Raven Wagner. I think it's because it's Wagner. I got like Raven and Wagner into one word.
Is she German?
No. She's Raven. Mystique's name is Raven Darkholme.
Okay.
But she's currently living the identity of Raven Wagner.
Because she's in Germany.
Yeah. And she's married to Baron Christian Wagner.
Would it be Wagner though?
Wagner.
Yeah, it's German.
Okay, I apologise.
Okay. Either way.
So she's married to this Baron, but he's infertile.
Oh, okay.
Like, they want to have a baby, they want to have an heir, but she can't get pregnant. An extravagant party. Christian introduces his wife to a man named Azazel.
Okay.
What?
Azazel.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing.
What do you think of when you think of the name Azazel?
Supernatural.
Is it in Supernatural?
Yeah, a bad thing is gonna happen. Someone's gonna die, or the Antichrist is gonna happen, or some shit.
Okay.
Everything bad has happened in Supernatural. There are 11 seasons of that shit.
Okay, Azazel is the ruler of the island nation, I'm going to butcher this, La Isla de Demonas.
Okay.
Which even I can tell is that's the island of demons.
Yeah.
And he's visiting this bit of Germany on business. During his stay, Azazel and Mystique become enchanted with each other, and there's a really cringy line where they're like horseback riding together, and he's like, "You have a mystique.
Oh, fuck.
You embody the word mystique."
And she's like, "Yeah, I know. I've been told.
No, I'm pretty sure.
I live that."
I think it's supposed to be like this is supposed to be where she got the name.
Oh.
And
that's worse.
In a church, Azazel tells her to strip for him.
Right.
And he's like, no, and she takes off all her clothes, and he goes, no, completely.
Oh.
As in, like, I know you're a mutant. Let me see your true self.
Yeah.
Kind of like in X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
And they bone in the church.
Oh right, yeah, nice and holy.
Mm-hmm. The next page, you turn the page, is literally Mystique stood atop a waterfall, going, "I am in love."
Wow.
And what's really annoying about the story, probably the biggest sin the story it commits, is it takes a character like Mystique and just reduces it to like a lovesick puppy.
Yeah.
Azazel meets her, and it's like a couple of months later, apparently, because she's like, "I'm pregnant with your baby, let's run away together." And he's like, "No, you need to stay here, raise as the Baron's son. I'll be back for him when I need him."
I assume that was the deal the whole time, right?
No.
Oh.
Like, she's like properly in love with him. She wants to like spend the rest of her life with him.
But I thought the deal was like, she would go with this guy to have the baby.
No, she's just like, she didn't get pregnant with him to get pregnant. She just like had sex with him and got pregnant.
Oh, okay, right.
So
I thought that's where I was going.
The Baron asks for a paternity test to see if it's truly his child. So Mystique kills him.
Naturally.
And buries his body. Later, she gives birth to what appears to be a demon baby.
Yep.
Which is Nightcrawler.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the stress of the labour reveals her true form.
Okay.
The blueness. She's chased out of the castle with her child and runs back to the top of the waterfall. Reflecting on how great her life was before Azazel, she drops the child off the edge.
Bit harsh.
But doesn't see it teleport away.
Okay.
Because it's Nightcrawler, it's not like that.
Teleporting baby.
And she wonders to herself, and this is how the issue ends, she just like looks up and goes, "Why couldn't you love me, Azazel? Why?"
As she drops a teleporting baby off a waterfall.
Back in the present, early in the morning, Nightcrawler, seemingly under distress, sneaks into the X-Jet and takes off alone. Wolverine sees him take off and rushes to tell the Professor, who reveals that he's noticed several mutant teleporters all converging on the same small island nation.
Mm-hmm.
The team is assembled to go after Kurt, and when they get there, they find Kurt is surrounded by other teleporters and mutants, led by their father,
Right.
Azazel.
Yeah.
And at this point, you see Azazel looks like Nightcrawler, but red.
Yeah. Of course he's red.
But like when you first meet him, he's just a dude.
Yeah.
Like he looks kind of like demony, but just like in the way that like a hypnotist does.
Demony.
So a giant rift starts to open like around the mutants and the teleporters and that, and this kid Carter shows up, who doesn't really matter. He's the young son of Havoc's girlfriend, who like snuck aboard,
Right.
and Iceman is shot with an arrow,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "I'm fine, I'm made of ice." Well, then the arrow explodes, shattering him, leaving him just a head,
Oh.
like an ice head. The X-Men try to break the circle of teleporters, but they've begun to melt together, and all of a sudden there's a giant hole in the ground with nothing else there.
Okay.
The X-Men regroup in an unknown location, with Nightcrawler among them, who's back to his senses, and he tells them the last thing he remembers was being in bed back at the Xavier Institute. Azazel appears with like a ton of demony-looking dudes behind him,
Jesus Christ.
shocked and they're like, "There's an angel there." But Azazel's like, calm down. He's not an actual angel. Angel tries to use his healing blood to heal Nightcrawler,
Mm-hmm.
but it burns him,
Oh. Okay.
which causes one of Azazel's demons to attack, and a big fight breaks out between the two sides. There's this character called Abyss,
Yeah.
who looks like Nightcrawler, but with no nose.
Why?
It's just who he is. And this story, you find out that he's Nightcrawler's brother.
Okay.
And his power is like, he can teleport stuff. He can like summon like black hole style things and like pull stuff out of them or send them through him, but like in his chest.
Okay.
And Jubilee's like, use your power. Can you get us like some weapons or something useful? And he does it, but out pops Mystique.
Oh. Okay.
It's really weird.
That's fucking weird.
Azazel lets off a massive blast of energy, which stops everyone on both sides from fighting,
Mm-hmm.
and tells them that the portal back to Earth was sealed shut during the fight. He demands that some of the X-Men's group join him in his banquet hall, where he reveals that he is Kurt's father, Mystique is Kurt's mother, and he is Satan.
Yeah. I'm not like surprised. Like I know the deal.
Bum, bum, bum. So Nightcrawler he's not just like a mutant who looks like a demon. He is the son of Satan.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of sons of Satan in comics though, right?
Yeah, like there's Damon Hellstrom.
But that niche is well and truly filled.
Yeah, Damon Hellstrom's like subtitle is Hellstrom, son of Satan,
Yeah.
but he's got a different dad. His dad is Mephisto.
Okay, right.
But we talked about in this Loki episode, there's a ton of people like claiming to be Satan.
Yeah.
Like there is no Satan in Marvel, because everyone claims it, but no one wants to claim it.
Yeah.
So yeah, meanwhile, Havoc, Jubilee, Carter, and Husk are trapped in Azazel's prison with Iceman's head. But Iceman's like, there's not enough water here to give me a body. There's not enough water in the air to give me a body back. And this is probably the dumbest thing in the whole arc. Havoc goes, well, I drank a load of stuff on the plane ride over.
What?
Iceman needs water to reconstitute his body.
Yeah.
He's going to reconstitute his body out of Havoc's piss.
Yeah, I got that, but what?
It just, a lot of Chuck Austin stuff just seems like a Kevin Smith joke,
Yeah.
but actually canon.
Just be quiet, go sit down.
So Nightcrawler tells Azazel, I don't think you're actually Satan, you're just a mutant who was born in biblical times and got like a big head. And Azazel says, well yeah, but if you look at the concept of Satan and look at what I've been through in my life, it kind of lines up.
It's like, I'm not saying I'm Satan, but have you ever seen me in the same room as
I'm not
him?
saying I'm not Satan.
Yeah.
So Azazel reveals that when Nightcrawler teleports, he actually crosses into the dimension they're currently in.
Right.
So he teleports out of our dimension and then back in to our dimension, like through it, uses it as like a conduit. Which is why whenever, and this is a pre-existing fact in X-Men, whenever Nightcrawler teleports, it leaves behind the smell of brimstone.
Oh, okay.
And this is actually something that is stuck.
The one thing.
And it's the bit that I like, really, that Nightcrawler isn't just teleporting from A to B, he's kind of teleporting from A to C via B.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah. And now Azazel needs Nightcrawler and Abyss to team up to make a portal big enough to get them back to Earth.
Right.
Meanwhile, Polaris and Professor X have arrived on the island in search of the X-Men. And Polaris uses her magnet powers to open up the portal
Oh.
in Abyss.
Oh.
So she kind of goes like, and her head just like pokes out of Abyss's chest.
That's amazing.
Which, when Takeshi Miyazawa draws that, it's great physical comedy. Miyazawa's great. He's currently like the second artist on Ms. Marvel.
Okay.
Like the rotating artist on Ms. Marvel. And he did a bunch of like the Cloak and Dagger stuff in Runaways.
Yeah, cool.
He's a very good artist and he does like humour and like teens really well.
Like, he's good at conveying,
Yeah.
like, the hilarity in art form, whereas it could just be awful.
Yeah. So Azazel grabs for Abyss when Nightcrawler gets to him first and teleports him away. Polaris opens up the rip in Abyss's stomach, so big it becomes akin to a black hole, pulling everything through it.
Right.
As the X-Men return to Earth, Kurt stays behind to fight his father. Azazel falls through a different portal and disappears as Nightcrawler is rescued by the X-Men. Back home, Nightcrawler reflects on the fact that he lost his father so quickly after finding him, but begins to bond with his brother.
Okay. So, people sort of just brushed over this, noped out.
Yeah, it's just the idea that...
They're just like, the whole devil shit?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
That happened.
It's just the idea...
None of that in my X-Men.
Yeah. Like, if you ask an X-Men fan, their like headcanon is Nightcrawler is just a mutant. There's no demon stuff in there.
He's not the literal son of Satan.
Yeah. Because, like I said, there's enough of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's...
I can see why people, like, don't care for it.
Mhm.
I can see why people think it's dumb. And then people are like, it's not X-Men.
Yeah. So that's the first moppy.
Yeah?
Any final thoughts?
It's dumb.
It's dumb, yeah. Thank you for watching this video. I want to do the thing where you like subscribe here and like go to the website here, but I don't know how to do that.
I could probably learn. I
Maybe.
assume it's not that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, like, 10-year-old YouTubers do it.
True. I do like a TV radio course.
Yeah, you can.
My name's Kieran Shack, I'm acting with us on Twitter.
I'm Helen the Heart and the H.
This has been a journey into misery.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried that we're going to go over there like my phone's like died.
Oh god. What if it's like stop recording or something?
I don't know. We'll be back next month.
I'm scared.